Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Hot D, Season 1, Episode 2, House of the Dragon.
The Rogue Prince.
We're abbreviating it as Hot D.
Hot D. We're not alone.
There were, in fact, are we not alone?
No.
There were, in fact, no Hot Ds in this episode either.
Zero peeps still.
Zero peeps. And zero. So we got two dragons, but they were the same two that we already got. Yes. And then we had a dragon's egg.
Yeah.
And presumably a little dragon inside being jostled.
To shreds, you say.
I'm in. I'm liking this. Are you liking this?
Yeah, I am a lot, actually.
The first episode, I was a little overwhelmed by the crushing mythology of it all.
It does have a crushing mythology.
Much like Cersei.
Yeah.
In the catacombs of
the weight of the entirety of the Red
weight
Keep.
Of the ambition of her ambition. No, I'm getting a sense of who people are. I know Rhaenyra, and I know Alicent, and I know Daemon.
Yeah.
And I know Kristen. He's the knight.
Not me.
Yes. Lord? Was he a knight or a lord?
Sir.
There. Yeah. And he's the one that Rhaenyra picked. So, okay. So they were talking about, I don't know who the Crabfeeder is, because I thought it was.
We don't know him yet. It's not the cousin's husband. He's not the Crabfeeder.
That's what I thought.
He has another name. It's Lord Corlys. He's the sea snake.
The cousin queen's husband?
Yes.
Is Lord Corlys. Okay. But he's having issues with the Crabfeeder, who is some type of, like, pirate lord or something that's intercepting the trade routes?
Okay, so Lord Corlys is a pirate lord. He's like that. It's a little reductive. You remember that other black character on Game of Thrones who was the pirate, the, like, Lord of Onions or whatever? That was friends with the one. No, really? Well, he was only in it for like a season. They really misused his character. But I think he's a pirate like him. So he basically like built his own.
So how did he end up marrying the queen that almost was?
Because he's rich.
Oh, okay.
He's super rich because he's a fucking pirate.
She was a little bit more shady than I thought she was going to be. I thought she was going to be this like benevolent fairy godmother type. And I was like, oh, you're kind of a bitch.
It's just that hairdo. But anyway, so the Crabfeeder, I don't think is a pirate. I don't really know what he is.
Was I right that he's intercepting like trade routes or something?
He basically is like intercepting ships on the trade routes. And then
it's fucking up with Lord Corlys's business.
Well, yeah, but he's also he's not doing anything. He's doing something, but he's not like actively. Like, he's not hoarding those goods, it doesn't seem. He's just
It seems like he has a mission, though.
You
don't wear a Phantom of the Opera mask.
Yeah, but he's just nailing men to posts and letting them be eaten alive by crabs. That's bonkers.
It was, so, anyways, they were talking about that, and then Princess Rhaenyra, who's the cupbearer.
Even still, after she's been named the, like, heir, she's not, like, sitting in on meetings. She's still filling
real
line.
Heir. According to everyone else. I mean,
yeah.
They're just sort of. Yeah. But she chimed in. They weren't impressed. So they sent her to pick a king's guard for the king, for her father.
Yeah, because they're like, there's only 6 right now for some reason. Something happened to somebody. It's not important because we don't know who they were.
And she wasn't impressed with any of them, I guess, because they hadn't seen battle and they were old, maybe, and it was politics.
Some of them were a little old. They were also, they were only there for political reasons because they come from like good families or whatever. And she was like, has literally anybody seen
Jamie
action?
Too.
Yeah, Jamie had seen action. Yeah, even when he was put on the King's Guard,
several ways, in myriad ways,
he had seen action.
Alicent is still seeing the king, and it's King Viserys. So I think I'm getting that. I understand that her father sent her there to do it like in a shady way, but her relationship with the king seems honest.
It did.
It's not now.
She seemed very aware and accepting that he had chosen her.
Yeah, because that confused me. I was like, where did that come from?
Why else would her father be suggesting such a thing?
Yeah, but like it almost seemed like the king. I guess it makes sense. I don't know. I mean, it's inappropriate because she's like 14 and he's like
okay,
an old man, and there is an imbalance of power. One might
Okay. So, okay. I can't. It's like they like.
We're gonna talk about Rachel's.
Well, Lord Corlys wants the king to marry his daughter, a girl of 12.
They pulled a stunt by actually casting a child as
Okay.
Corlys's daughter.
Lena, I think. But they said they said that Rhaenyra was only like 15 or 16.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, so like at most, we're dealing with this world and everything. So like getting married at the age of 16 is blessedly older than most of them. But it just is, you're right about the stunt with the little girl, where it was like a comically small child.
They brought it up so casually, and we were sort of like, surely not no. And it cuts to, it's a wide shot, and it cuts to the scene. And Rachel, did she say no? She just exclaimed to the point where it startled me.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the matter?
And because it was such a wide shot, they were so far away. I was like, maybe it's an old lady. Who knows?
I wasn't trained on them.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't looking at that part. But it was like that in our Hereditary video.
Yeah.
when you saw Toni Collette in the background far before I did.
Yeah.
And so when the camera cuts to them, the rest of us were like, ah! No. And it was a lot. That little girl was great. She handled her scene beautifully.
Very good.
So the general plot with Viserys and Rhaenyra was that they hadn't really spoken in the 6 months since her mom died. I've heard that about the show.
Yeah, we're going to plow through time. I'm fine with it.
And so Alicent was sort of advising him on how to talk to her.
And then advising her. Mm-hmm. Like, sometimes you have to be the one to talk. She said, she basically said that to both of them. She was like, fingers crossed, we've got a 50-50 shot.
Oh, and Viserys and Alicent had a meet cute. I mean, they'd met, but they had their, like, moment where she accidentally broke his stone dragon.
Yeah.
And then
had the stone masters fix it.
Separate from anyone. I mean, maybe her dad told her, but I also could believe she did that.
Yeah.
Where she, like, had it fixed and gifted it back to him.
So here's
Love for the ages. I'm calling it now.
Okay, I'm going to say something. And I think that I don't think their relationship is 100% yucky. Like, he's obviously way older than her, but I think there actually is, like, a kinship there. But also, he is literally rotting. So, like, how long is this gonna go?
We did not touch on that last week because it gave me that he has, like, a disease. But then I, like, in my limited researching, I heard that it was just from the chair.
So the one on his back... and then he did scratch his finger on it last week as well.
And I think it's like a heavy-handed metaphor for, like,
oh, is the crown poison?
Yeah, I think that's what.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
And I think a little bit of pretense never hurt anybody. So Daemon, because we saw him go off with Sonya
Massaria. Yeah,
he flew off with Massaria last week, and we picked up with that where.
She's just a dancer. That's a foreign-born dancer.
Oh.
She's a dancer, not a whore.
They don't know what that means. So they flew off to Dragonstone. He claims he's marrying her because he's able to. It's his right to.
It's some old Valyrian custom where you can have more than one wife.
Mm-hmm. And since his first wife, I can't wait till we meet her. I can't decide if I want her to be like an absolute hog or just like a normal
just like
lady.
A regular.
Just like a regular pretty lady.
Like a regular girl. Oh, brother.
But no, and so he also claimed that she's pregnant.
It
just lies a bunch.
It's Judith Light from last week's American Horror Story.
I don't know what that means.
You do. No, I agree. Also, she has apparently like gotten her tubes tied or something because she's like, I made sure I would never have children.
I liked that scene because I don't like, this show has a relationship with sex and violence and sex violence and women and stuff. And so I am very fond of that actress. And I had a feeling that you don't cast her just to menace her, like just to sort of terrorize her and treat her like, because back to the thing you said, it's like the optics. It's like, it's okay. So we have people of color now, but what are we going to do with them?
Yeah.
And so I did like the scene where when it comes out, because Alicent's dad, who is the Hand of the King, who's the shiesty one.
He is so shiesty.
He went to go handle it, by having like a dick measuring contest.
And he was losing.
Yeah. And they like called Daemon's bluff that she was pregnant. It seems like she didn't know about it.
She didn't know he
furious.
was lying about that.
Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, the white dress was incredible.
And so then they like had that scene where she had kind of agency. And also I like, because I know I've heard Sonya speak because she's in Crazy Rich Asians.
She's putting on an accent.
Okay.
That's not her. Because she, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, she has a British accent normally.
Mm-hmm.
She's putting on something completely different.
I kind of liked it. I kind of liked that it was sort of, it felt like, I'm sure I'll rue the day that I ever saw Potential, but it felt like a interesting figurative and literal voice for this show.
Sure.
To have an actual first person character. But Rhaenyra did kind of see what was coming, and she flew in, and it was actually amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really impressed in the first episode when we were going this like Arya 2.0, like the princess who wants to be the warrior.
Mm-hmm. It's being handled
when she was like,
differently.
Your issue is me. I'm here. Kill me.
Just do it right now.
And I think that weird chemistry that the two of them have,
it's so weird.
Like, it was interesting.
I keep going back to I do also want to meet his wife. I can't wait.
I can't decide which I want more.
Yeah, I agree for sure. I think it would be very funny.
It should be just a total hag.
Yeah.
Or like
it's so funny.
She just has like an odd beauty mark, like birthmark. I don't know. So yeah, Rhaenyra handled that to the chagrin of.
Yeah, well, Otto was sort of pissed, and then her father was the king was really pissed that she had gone because she's his only heir, and he seems
like a good guy.
And that scene was really lovely too, where he was like, I don't want to remarry. I'll never get over your mother, but like we are in a very tenuous position, so I have to do something.
But it also seemed very like, I believe in you. I want what's best for you. I won't screw you over. That's not saying you won't be screwed over or can't be screwed over, but don't worry about it coming from me. Mm-hmm. To which he then kind of screwed her over a little bit.
Yeah, well, because she also, though, that's the thing is like, it was just sort of like a lie by omission, because she was like, I understand your duty is to the kingdom. You have to get married again. And he was like, thank God she gets it. But then he wasn't like, by the way, it's your friend. It's your only friend.
I just feel like the rest, and maybe this is what it is when you're king, but it's like the rest of them are playing shades of the Game of Thrones and he's not.
Yeah.
It's
big Ned Stark energy.
I kind of think that was it. Is there anything else we need to talk about?
That was mostly it. So he did announce that he is going to marry Alicent at
there
the
was
small
a scene
council.
with Rhaenyra and the queen who wasn't her like cousin aunt, where Rhaenys was sort of challenging her.
Well, it was very sour grapes, where she was like, well, I wasn't queen, so nor will you be.
But there was a little bit of a young Padawan vibe, so I'm sort of
a little. And then what was his name? Lord Lionel Strong. I think he's the master of law, the one that said a girl. He and the king had a scene in this as well, where they were talking about like who he should marry, if he should marry Corlys's daughter or not. And it was like it was kind of nice. It was kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
I enjoyed it.
I liked it a lot, yeah.
I certainly liked it better than I liked last week, but it was, like I said, I was sort of like, ugh.
And the really first episode punch in the face with that fucking
so there's a
C-section.
There's a lot of women in this, and they're interesting, and I respond well.
And they're different enough.
Yeah.
Because also, we haven't really talked about it, but Alicent has a real nervous tick where she's like picking at her fingers, and I am very interested to see. I have a feeling she's going to be barren or something. Because there's a shot in the like trailers for this show.
You can't do that.
Of Olivia Cook like with crazy eyes running at someone with a dagger in her hand. So I don't know. I just feel like that's definitely. What if she has a son? Then what? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I guess that would add to the drama. But oh no! At the end, Corlys is meeting with Daemon because his daughter got spurned, and he's like, "Hey. We need to do something about this, and Viserys won't like do anything about the Crabfeeder, and my entire livelihood will go down the drain if we don't have these shipping trades open. Also, that's like the stepstones and Essos, and I'm like, I know both of those words, but I don't know what we're like doing. And I think that the Crabfeeder is from Marine. Yeah. I'm not 100% on that.
PTSD, shell shock.
It's like, get me the fuck out of Marine if I know one thing. But yeah, I think then that is it.
So I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
I'm in, and we'll be back next week
Yep.
to eat the same amount.
Bye.